Hey everyone, TimaeuSS here, and welcome to another Honkai Star Rail video. So, Yukong's information has finally been released, and damn, look at those legs! Legs are days, and of course with the cute tingling in the art as well. Now, Yukong is another imaginary type unit. If you haven't seen the Locha review, do go check it out. We can now actually almost make a full imaginary team, but you can technically run Silver Wolf and make it into the pseudo imaginary team, which I think will be very cool to see once we get Locha and Yukong on the same banner. So let's go over his skills and see how good is Yukong actually. But before we start, just remember, alright, for Yukong, you can get her for completely free. They already announced it in the live stream, I believe, for 1.2, that Yukong will be given for free at a later point in time. I think, was it 1.3? But either way, she is coming for free later on. But if you are pulling for Locha, of course, you can grab a copy of her as well. Wish you all the best in terms of luck. Now, Yukong is an imaginary type unit that follows the path of harmony, so a buffer type. Her skill can increase the attack of all allies, and her ultimate buffs her skill and increases the crit rate and crit damage, as well as dealing damage to a single target enemy. So you can see that just from the kit, it's a lot of buffs, attack, crit rate, and crit damage. And of course, she also does damage herself. Let's take a look at the traces. First of all, the first trace can resist one debuff application for one time. Very important, because if we know anything from Ting, Ting's taunt value, I think, is secretly tuned up to super high. So of course, with that, resisting some of the stuns and whatnot, crowd control is going to be very helpful. Bowmaster is the second trace. When Yukong is on the field, imaginary damage dealt by all allies increases. So this is what I mean by you can see potentially the rise of imaginary teams, because you've got a buffer in Yukong, a healer slash enabler in Locha, and then of course Welt, a pseudo sub DPS, but has obviously the ability to output some good damage as well. Now all we're missing is a damage carry, right? For similar to Seele, how she's going to carry the Quantum team. Her last trace is when the Roaring Bowstring is active, she regenerates additional energy every time an ally takes action. So this is very key, because for Harmony type users that we found for a lot of the through a lot of testing, they want energy gen 100% because it means more uptime on the ultimate and better turn cycling, because you can go skill auto attack into ultimate, and that's gonna be really good. And this is dependent on the allies. So if you can get your allies to build speed, of course, this is going to be super good in terms of giving her the resources that she needs. So this is auto attack skill. Nothing to, talk too much about it. Her skill now obtains 2 stacks of Roaring Bowstring, and it's max 2, kind of similar to the flower field that Locha has. And when the string is active, the bowstring is active, the attack of all allies increases, and every time the ally's turn ends, she loses 1 stack, and Yukong will not lose the Roaring stack on the turn sheet. So basically it only affects 2 allies. Wow, this is not something I thought about, because I thought it's gonna last essentially 2 of Yukong's turns, as in like she needs to move twice, but this is 2 of the allies' turns. Every time an ally, so you actually have to speed tune it, right? You have to speed tune it. I'm gonna assume this value is gonna be extremely big, because you either have to speed tune or you're gonna cut with for example a ultimate. That's how you're gonna secure the ally turn. And if the ultimate counts, of course, as a turn, then that's gonna be very interesting. That's going to be very interesting in how seeing this work, because 2 turns is not a lot. Now, her ultimate. If Roaring Bowstring is active when Yukong uses her ultimate, the crit rate and crit damage of all allies will increase, and at the same time, she deals imaginary damage. So this is very interesting, because what you can do is you use this skill and you spam the ultimate, because technically it's an interruption, and basically that counts as part of Yukong's turn. And because it says Yukong will not lose Roaring Bowstring on the turn she uses her skill, technically her turn has not ended just yet. It's being interrupted by the ultimate. So use the skill, and if you have the gauge filled, then use the ultimate, and this does not consume any turns. So basically then you cut with your ally, for example, and that crit rate and crit damage will be insane. So unfortunately, You will not be able to use Jingyuan that well, I feel like, because of, you know, the 2 turns ending and you can't time Lightning Lord effectively. So this is going to be currently very good technically support for Seele. Her talent, basic attack deals additional damage and increases the toughness reduction damage of the current attack. Interesting. This effect can be triggered again. So toughness damage, toughness is the bar above the enemy head, so this essentially allows you to break more, I believe. Now let's look at technique and why I think her technique is so good. Basically, it's outside of the combat, which is great, right? And after you use the technique, she enters the sprint mode. So this is helping you go from map to map a lot faster. And for those of you that are still doing the daily farming route, this is going to be fantastic. So sprint mode for 20 seconds, and in the sprint mode, movement speed increases, gains 2 stacks of rolling position when she enters battle via attacking enemy. So we have to see if you switch out, does that end? Because if it does end, then unfortunately she's one that requires herself to be attacking. And if the enemy is not imaginary weak, you lose that toughness break. But if she doesn't, and you just have to attack within the 20 seconds of the speed boost, then I think it's a lot better. But all around, pretty good in getting around the map. So this is pretty much Yukong. Again, she's gonna be she's gonna be able to obtain for free, which is fantastic. Other than that, quite difficult to use at the moment. And as an addition to the imaginary team, currently Walt could not take full advantage of it because, you know, you cut with the black hole thing, and that the damage isn't too crazy. The key damage coming out of Welt is the skill. So interesting to see how she is going to work. Of course, I'll be pulling for Lucia, so I mean, I hope I get her along the way, and we'll be doing some testing. Maybe this attack boost is insanely high, and this crit rate and crit boost is game-changing, but we will see. Anyhow, it's TimaeuSS here. Let me know your thoughts if you're going to be pulling for her, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye now.